Okay, night scene normal, walking out into a sunset. This is just a trial run because I had a bit of a walk at the weekend and it was rather good. Though I did have my torch with me then, maybe I should go back for it, but I just thought I'd walk down with the sunset. It's getting a bit overcast, so I thought, well, give it a run. I'll learn what all the pitfalls are. So I did it on, I think it was Friday night. Yeah, Friday night I think it was. And they had the bike track thing on, which I think they have on about once a month over the winter and summer periods. I think we got the International BMX bike rally track down there for, well, at least for Southern Australia. I think it's it might actually be for the whole of Australia. Okay, so it was rather good, and they had all the lights on, and so if I get the timing just right, walk down there. By the time I get down to the bike track, it's getting dark enough, the lights have come on, sort of thing. That's when it's a bike track night, so I'm going to have to look that up on the internet and time it just right. But as we head more towards the third week of February, when we had these like thermonuclear sunsets, and the sun doesn't set until basically 8:45, or basically 7:45 in old time or real time, rather than daylight saving time. Yeah, so right. I just saw someone doing some sort of exercises against that park bench, and it's the same park bench that the bloke committed suicide off of about, it's probably about a decade ago now. I mean, we had my biker friend here who we met the mother of, and she said, yeah, that was my son. Yes. Yeah, so I used to see him walking around with his girlfriend sort of thing, and of course we had this day when we had this suicide, and of course the bloke, apparently according to the police officer, the bloke was from a couple of suburbs away and come up here to commit suicide especially, but by doing that had got the get out of school time incorrectly, so he did it like 10 minutes too early, and unfortunately there was nothing really we could do really. He'd just done it too early. Had it been like 5 minutes later, might have been able to save the chap, so it was touch and go, because he had like a tat on one of his ankles, and it was sort of that fine line between, do I really want to catch a life-changing permanent illness like some form of hepatitis that will affect me for the rest of my life, if I don't actually have a really good chance of saving this person, you know what I mean? I mean, it's one thing to have a lifelong illness that you caught off of someone else if you've saved their life, and but to actually try to save someone's life and catch a life-threatening, life-shortening disease that will affect you for the rest of your life, and you don't actually manage to save the other person's life, it was one of those, balance of probability sort of thing. So, but it was also it was eerie because it was in the afternoon, kids were coming out of school sort of thing, and they were going to be at the site any second sort of thing, and you didn't really want them to see, it was sort of that case of, we want to cut it down, but you really wanted the authorities to be able to be there to photograph it. It was all these things all going on at once, and then of course there was the beauty angle, like you had, it's like you had a fantastic cold, he had this stuff hanging out of his nose, which was about almost like a metre long. It really was, maybe a bit longer than a metre, almost like 2/3 of the way down to the ground sort of thing, hanging out of his both nostrils, two sort of almost like icicles, and the sunlight going through this thing, and it was crystal clear with a few bubbles here and there, but it was the beauty of it at the same time. So you had this sort of really anguishing sort of incident, and all these thoughts and emotions going through you, and sending someone else off to phone for the ambulance, because this was 10 years ago. Most people we're talking like, you know, mobile phone. I've never had a mobile phone myself, really, apart from a hand-me-down one from Townsville, which I had like for 6 months, sort of thing. It was a hand-me-down thing. Yeah, I mean, but it was basic. Like, it had no, it had no. You know, I had no Facebook screen or something like that. You know, it was just like numbers. It was like, you know, black and white sort of screen. You know, LCD, black and white. Well, not black and grey. You know what I mean? You know, you couldn't see any photographs on it, or anything like that. It was that basic. But that's really what I want, is a basic phone that, you know, I don't want to use it, I can just like chuck it away, sort of thing. And I can see what's going to happen. I'm going to get down there, and just when it gets to the good bit, I won't have my bloody torch with me to highlight anything. Oh well, it's a test run, you know. So I'm pressing on with all the work. I did a bit more tissue culture in the shed today. Looking good. I mean, I think, I don't know where this thing is going and how to get to the answer on all fronts, but yeah, it's slow and steady progress and little tiny baby steps, but I think we might actually have the tissue culture sold sometime as we go into next year. Just on this basic research we're doing now, and the experiments I did today and filmed, I reckon I'm going to have to do them again tomorrow. It's the difference between filling a bottle 3/4 full and filling a bottle half full can make such a difference with observation, because the strength and the plastic of the bottle can actually, oh geez, that will look good, fantastic. That sunset, I don't know if you're picking this up, probably not, because this is on wide angle, and yeah, so I better, but that's fantastic sunset. And you wait till the 3rd week of February and it'll just be absolutely awesome. Anyway, I'm just going to go across the bridge, and I've got actually video footage of all this at other stages of the year, and it's hopefully in that box of cassettes that is at the lockup, sort of thing. But whether it is actually at the lockup or it's actually been thrown away, but when you look at the grass now, it's yeah, it's dying off and going brown, you know. And look at that, you know, that's so absolutely packed out with willow and all that other stuff other times of the year, but look at it now. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but I did set the camera on night scene, so it's night scene normal, maybe, because that should be equivalent to beach night scene macro, hopefully. Anyway, I came down here on the Friday, and maybe I need to start a new clip from here, okay, otherwise it'll take too long to upload, and we'll do one from here. And I went all the way down there, so we'll give another shot here.